Alright guys, so I've only been back a month. Yesterday I got my 4th fucking flat tire. So here's what I did. I bought these. The ones that were on there were used. I don't know if you can see them or not. These ones were used. I bought them for like 30 or 40 bucks a piece. Something like that. But I got tired of messing with them. So went and did this yesterday. Probably do the back two later on. Had to go to like 2 different Walmarts to get them to put these ones on because these ones only had a weight rating of 105, and I guess this truck calls for a 108. So the second Walmart I went to, I just didn't have them look it up by the vehicle, just by the size. But yeah, burn those ones off, and we'll put a new set on here in a week or two, or whenever I get the extra money. But yeah, just want to show you guys that real quick. I am headed to my 2nd day of trucking school, so I gotta get the truck cleaned out. But we'll see you guys next time. Alright guys, so these are the center caps that were on those wheels. All these little deals here, the little center actual cap part, they were all missing and broken off anyway. And as you can see, I got a bunch of stuff back here. I try to keep stocked up. I got a tow chain, bunch of ratchet straps, 4-ways, plugs, socket kit, 10-inch crescent wrench, oils, transmission fluids, jacks. I got all sorts of stuff. I like to try to stay prepared just in case. Over here I got my air conditioning stuff. But anyway, I took these off. I just think they'd look kind of stupid. I've never liked them. They don't look as good without them. Or, I don't know. They don't look bad. I'm trying to get new lug nuts on all of them. Just buying like a 4-pack at a time. And then I'm going to scrub all these rims. But all in all, it will look pretty good. But what I'm going to try to do today is I'm missing a bunch of these. Or not missing. I have a bunch of these all over the place. Just going to try to sand them out and just tape it off and shoot them with a little bit of clear coat. Or a little bit of paint or whatever I can find cheap. Just to try to preserve it a little more. So I'm going to keep this truck and I'm going to take it to New York. So, but anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on today. We'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Sorry if it's kind of windy out. Alright, so basically this truck has a bunch of this stuff. It's just the clear coat coming off. I'm not worried about that. I'd like to get rid of this ugliness here. The other side looks way better. I think I went at it when I first got the truck right here. Oh, I started in the middle like an idiot. But try to get that off. That would be nice. Shine these rims up a little bit and whatnot. Get it looking a little bit better. More or less like preserving it, trying to make it look as decent as I can for cheap. But then I got a bunch of spots like this. Just take this whole little area, sand it all down to bare metal, throw some cheap primer and a cheap coat of paint on there, and call it a day. Just to preserve it. Obviously not going to be able to do much. I don't know if you can see that or not. With the roof, it's all peeling up and stuff, but you know, just try to preserve it as much as I can because the body's in good condition. So we'll see what we can do. We're going to get these back tires changed out here pretty soon. And I'd like to come out these with a Brillo pad and some hot water and dish soap just to see what I can do. And if I can get this side off, that yellow disgusting strip, which I think is just the adhesive. As you can see, this side obviously wasn't parked against the sun. It actually looks pretty good. It's like a little fade. But anyway, yeah, I'm just decided to keep the truck. I'm going to take it to New York, so I want to do a little extra here and there. Try to see what I can figure out to preserve it and keep it as a summer truck. But I'll show you guys here what I'm doing in a little bit. I gotta go pick up some supplies. Alright guys, just got back from Lowe's. Dug through my stash. Couldn't find much for paint or primer or anything like that. I wasn't gonna mess with primer, but it was kind of like a on sale type deal or whatever. The only thing, I'm not really honestly a big fan of Rust-Oleum. Had a bad experience with it one time and I don't really care for it, but it was the cheapest what they had at Lowe's. It's kind of like their only big brand that they actually carry. And so I just grabbed it. It was like $5 a can. And then of course spray paint, or not spray paint. I couldn't find any sandpaper in my stash either, just because everything's packed away. And this stuff's $3 friggin' But anyway, you know, you could go to like Walmart and buy like the 99-cent cans of paint, but this stuff's garbage. It's water. It wipes right back off. This isn't going to be the best, but once again, just trying to preserve it. So we're gonna get started. I got some. I think I got 1680, and then somewhere I know in one of these bags of my toolboxes I have some memory cloth or whatever. So we'll get started on this and we'll show you guys an update here in a minute. Alright, so this is the little one on the hood. I'm just using the 60 grit and this is about 30 seconds worth of work, so I know it wasn't going to be a big deal, but just like you can still see the rust in here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I can see it. So just trying to get it down past the rust, and you can see it's into the primer and stuff like that. So and then you got spots like this one over here. This one's a little bit bigger. You can see it's bubbled all the way around, and this one here is bubbled underneath. So these ones are going to be bigger, but now's the time to get to them and get them taken care of. So yeah, just gonna even the little ones like this. Just, you know, try to get as many of them as I can. and we'll get it started. So yeah, probably hit them like this, and then I'll hit them again with the 80 real quick, mask out the whole area real fast, and just throw some paint on it. And that's all it's going to be. Letting the paint and stuff warm up in the sun. See, I'm not getting that serious about it. I didn't even want to spend the $3 or $4 it was on the painter's tape. Just, guess I had some tape here, so I'll just use the electrical tape. I'm not trying to get real serious about this, guys. I'm just trying to, you know, I know I'm half-assing it, not being too serious, but just enough to cover up the rust and kind of encapsulate it so that it doesn't get any worse, because this will be a northern New York truck, so trying to maintain it for now. But gonna shake up this bonding primer. I've never used this stuff before. I've used their sandable primer before. That was the stuff I had a bad time with. But anyway, hopefully this will work decently. And now we'll get this tape down the rest of the way, and we'll spray it up real quick. So here's the ones on the passenger side of the hood. Obviously with the rust, it always ends up being a little bit bigger than what you wanted it to be, or what you expected. But there was a nice little patch here, another one here, a little bit here. It was about this big to begin with. Of course, I followed it all the way out. Here was where I was bubbling up, so I scraped it with my knife. And just going all the way around until you get to the end of the rust, as much as you can. Then rough the whole area up. Like probably back to like about an inch or two behind all that. Rough the whole area up, tape it off, and we'll just spray this whole area. Yeah, it won't look the best, but I mean, paint's peeling everywhere else anyway, so look better than rust. So, and then over here, got my first coat on, or my second coat on, I should say. Can't really tell, I don't know how well you can see it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and hit that with the paint here in a minute, and then we'll clear coat it, and then we'll move this paper. Gotta try to see if I can find some more paper to start doing other areas. Alright, so this is that bond primer I'm using. It went on nice and thin like paint the first time. Let it sit for like 10 minutes and started working on the other side. And I sprayed it out, and it was like that. If you guys have ever used it, the like textured paint for like, I used it on rungs for a ladder one time. But it came out like almost like a fire extinguisher, like it was a powder. So I don't know, I flipped it upside down and cleaned out the nozzle, and then had to re-sand the whole spot I'd already taped off. So I'll show you that real quick. But this one's got the first coat of paint on it. But yeah, over here was like, it was crazy. I don't know what the heck it did. Got this little area here and then this little area here. Of course, this is the biggest area I had to tape off and sand and spend the most time on, so that had to be the side that messed up. But, you know, it'll work. So we'll get back here in a minute, show you guys what's up. Alright, so I don't know how well you could see it. It's kind of messing me up. The storage unit's dark inside. Well, darkish, and then I'm painting a white truck in the Sun City, El Paso, so looking at it, it's like blinding me, and then I come in here, it's like coming in from the snowstorm. But this one's got its first coat of clear coat on it, so this one will be coming off soon, and we'll see what it looks like. It's going to be a completely different shade of white, which I don't care. Just trying to preserve this, so we'll see here in a few minutes what this one looks like. Probably do like 3 coats of clear, just because I got plenty of it, and then we'll move on to the next spot. Alright, so I took everything off except for this, so I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it. But try to peel it off so you guys can see it while I see it. See what the color, like the shade difference is, you know. Oh, here comes paint with it. Maybe leave it a little bit longer. Yeah, it's gonna be goofy looking, but it'll work. So we'll get back with you guys here in a minute. All right, so see from here before, like right about there somewhere, all you could see was just a little brown dot of rust. Now it's obviously, it's funny because this white, oh well, you guys can see that. Let's see actually. This white is almost the same as this white, which is the inside of the clear coat. So I won't peel the other side off as soon. As you can see, I put it on there pretty thick. It almost looks like a piece of tape over it, it's so thick. But I'm okay with that. Just try to get it to blend in there and get it to stay on. So we'll get moving on this other side, and then we'll be just about done here. Alright, so along this roof line where the curve starts here, if you can see my hand or not, that's where one of the worst spots was. It was so bad here that it was actually dripping down. But the roof's pretty bad anyway. So, but the good thing about the roof is I don't have to like mask it off. I'll just mask from here down, make sure I don't get the window. And then one more little spot right here. There was a little ding in the door on the other side. I just hit it with the 60 grit real quick and then threw a couple dabs of paint on it. But yeah, I'm gonna end up doing this whole back thing. So this one here is done. If you guys can see it at all. And this one here is done. Just gonna wait a little while before I take that stuff off. So it might look goofy, but can't look any worse than rust. And I don't know if you can see the discoloration here. It's like this all over the truck anyway, so it won't be too bad. But just trying to contain the rust. I would like to get that tailgate thing back on. I have it right here, so you can see it down there with these clips. I hold it on. They're all broken right here. So I don't know if I can reorder these clips or even have those clips stay on there. But I don't want that thing to get any more beat up than what it already is. I'm half tempted to just RTV the crap out of it, but I don't know how well it would stand up. So anyway, that's probably about it for today. And go get some lunch and finish this up another day, or maybe finish it up a little bit later on. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I got this dented up piece back on there. I did some two-part epoxy stuff I had, some just cheap stuff, whatever. And then I'm just going to throw a couple zip screws, one on each corner, because it only falls off when you slam the tailgate down, so I'll just be careful with it. But it should be like, it should stick on there pretty good anyway. I don't know if that stuff will dry out and crack or whatnot. But yeah, now we're doing the back part real quick. Just going to do that whole brow, not even taped it off as far as blending it. And then there's the one little spot right there. So we'll get that all done. We'll get the heck out of here. And the truck will look a little bit better. Not really going for looks, but preservation. So stick with me and we'll show you the finished product here in a little bit. Alright, so I don't know how good you guys can see this or not, but it's basically like you could almost peel it up, or like the corners or the edges, I guess, are real. See? So I'm gonna wait for it to harden and dry completely, and then I'll just maybe come around and hit it a little bit with sand paper or something like that, or maybe I'll blend it in a little bit better. But it's way brighter than everything else, but from a distance you can't tell, and it's preserving it, so that's all I care about. Doesn't look the best. I'm not a painter. I'm gonna try to see what I can do about sealing this up or whatever. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yeah, it's real thick, you know. And I got impatient with this one. I was trying to go get lunch, so but this one over here is all done too. This one looks pretty decent. So anyway, we'll finish this back part up and get the heck out of here. Alright, so here we are the next morning. The back definitely turned out the best because it has a natural crease or body line, whatever you want to call it. Taped off the light, got it all done, and then all I did was tape this part here, so it naturally kind of blended itself in. It worked pretty nicely. One little spot right there that I should have hit. But yeah, other than that, it turned out pretty good. You can see, I don't know if I catch it in the camera or not. Trying to get a couple different angles for you guys. But yeah, turned out alright. Better there than it did up here. But see, you can barely see it. But once you get up close, it sticks out like a sore thumb. So I'm trying to see if I can find a way to blend that a little bit better. It's not gonna hurt. I have to spray into this or into this or something anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. But here's your update for now. I'm still working on getting this ucky yellow shit off the side. And then I threw a couple just self-tapping screws in here. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look the best, but I guarantee it's not gonna fall off. Now I throw these on here. And I thought I was on there to be a cool guy. I threw those on there to get rid of them because they were rolling around the back of my truck. So anyway, we'll get some new tires in this thing, and she won't look too half bad. Then she'll be ready to go home for a motor rebuild. Alright guys, take care.